Paco Radio here on FNR Football Nation Radio, brought to you by Senol. My name is Nick Tabano. I'm joined here today by three very, very special guests live in studio today. We apologise for a bit of the delay getting everything set up here at FNR. I've had some technical difficulties earlier in the day. It's delayed all our programming, so we're all ready to go now. Joined here by Miniroos Technical Director Ray Mizzi, also joined by committee member Anna Martucci, and as well John Panayi. Got many titles, John. I mean, we can go all day with them. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's going to be a fantastic show. So again, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. It's a great opportunity for us to say hello to all our families at Paco. We've been able to grow this club so much this year. It is a great place to be, and it's great to see so many happy faces at the club. We've grown the club this year from 11 Miniroos teams, and now we're up to 17. And also with the girls football, they had 2 teams and now they're at 5. So the growth and potential for this club just to have so many families at Hoskin Reserve is just incredible to see the growth that's happening. We do train at 2 other venues as well too. So a training night has 3 different venues all operating at the same time. So it is a real big project that we're running, and but from what I'm seeing lots of happy faces and connection with all the teams as well too. So that's really important to see.
So in terms of this year, you know, we've spoken to a lot of different coaches, a lot of people mainly involved with the senior programs and the 20s and the 18s. They've spoken about finally just getting some football in this year, you know, uninterrupted, no disruptions, and getting it as well, especially for young kids, getting an opportunity to run around with their friends and play on a weekly basis. For yourself, Ray, when you look at this year, I guess, how have you seen it as a whole? You spoke about the growth, but I guess how have you seen just seeing kids getting out there, playing with their mates every single week?
It is an incredible sight to see. It actually makes me so proud that the boys and girls are out there with the Paco top. I didn't think that this year would be growing in this way. I was a little bit doubtful of our numbers, just in soccer in general, and it's really blown me away. That connection, the cheering, to see our grounds all filled, you know, and I also see our junior players, our Miniroos, going to the senior games as well too, you know, and taking out the senior player and you know, being that mascot. It's a real proud moment, you know, and that connection just keeps on flowing from the top end right down to the bottom. No, I just really enjoy seeing and hearing such happy kids out there. It's really good compared to where we were, you know, last year, you know, in doing Zoom training sessions and everything like that, and that connection. And then obviously we had to, you know, stop training and everything. I think as well, we've had a lot of first-year players that have come to the club as well too, and so it looks like the word is getting around that, hey, let's get back out there, let's enjoy playing football. You know, let's be part of a club instead of going just to the park. You know, let's be part of something big. So I'm really thankful that our parents have been really supportive. We've had a few teams that you know, have had, you know, 2 or 3 players out. You know, but our club is really supportive that, you know, there's been some opportunities for some other players to help out as well too. So that's really good as well too. So, we have to understand where we're at, and that might be that players are sick or not, but they all come back and they all bounce back really well.
Well, Anna, from a committee point of view, I guess just seeing it from top to bottom, seeing, I guess, you know, players out there not having that disruption of not knowing week to week whether, you know, you're going to be playing one week or you're not going to play, and then being told the last minute, hey, you actually got games this week and have to get everything sorted. It must be not as stressful, it must be good to get back to that, you know, more relaxed and free-flowing environment again.
100%. There is a lot of hard work that goes on in the backgrounds, but like you said, it is less stressful. The committee's role is to ensure that there is a seamless process, and we manage that quite well, and it is a very, very rewarding role in all counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, for yourself, I mean, how have you sort of seen this year just getting back to a bit of normality, a bit of, just everything getting back to, I guess, just a sense of what it was like pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID is good now getting back into it. The stop-start from last year was a little bit difficult. You want to try and squeeze and make up time for the kids so they can keep developing. I'm new to Paco this year. I've been lucky enough to make a lot of new friends. Pretty much we came across to join for the Super League. Got to know Ray, working alongside Ray, week in, week out, and we're both growing, learning a lot for the kids, and we're just seeing now the benefit from us jumping into the deep end, we could say, from late last year for the Junior Super League and continuing it. We're getting the benefits now. I've just been saying to Ray the last 6 to 8 weeks, the growth we've seen from our particular team, even the other teams, we watch other games.
Yeah.
You stay back and watch another game or a half or support the age groups. But definitely now we're seeing the results now, all that hard work we all talk about. You don't see, a lot of parents don't see the hard work, and once you know the hard work, what people put in, you want to be a part of it and try and support it in a positive way. You get on board, when you see the work people doing it. You love the game, you're just trying to support good people. That's my saying, and I'm only going to work with good people. And you put yourself out there, and you got to do it. You got to put your hand up and support the kids, and hopefully that they grow. You can see the benefit. And once it clicks, you see the results, I think.
I would agree with you, John. That time frame of October right through to December, the kids just getting back from COVID, and to where they are now in 2022 compared to where they were in 2021 is just everything we did in 2021 to help them in their development has really set them towards this successful pathway right now where they're at. So I think, the programs that we've had at the club has really helped their development of where they are today.
Definitely,
So at pre-season we had 9 matches for Wallabies, week in, week out, and each day, each game day, there were 2 opponents that they played against, and so they'll stay there, and we'll have local teams come across, and our players grew and got to know each other, and everyone loves game day, and instead of training sessions, and we were able to have so many great clubs that came across and helped our juniors develop to where they are. So the Kangaroos were playing in the Junior Super League, as John mentioned, against some great teams as well too, and Pascoe Vale will be part of the Junior Super League once again in October, and that will start for the end of 2022 and lead into 2023 again.
For those that don't really understand, I guess, the different tiers of Miniroos, obviously you mentioned Wallabies, there's Kangaroo as well, and the Kangaroos, and there's obviously, as well, you mentioned the Junior Super League too. Can you sort of explain, for those who don't really understand it, I guess, how the Miniroos setup works with all the different levels and everything like that?
Yeah, good question, Nick. Well, there's many layers. We've got our Joeys, and our Joeys are our first timers to soccer. Players that are developing. They're starting to understand the game in small concepts in terms of development. It's a really good insight for them to start their football journey. And then we've got a little bit more advanced from that is our Wallabies, and they're really tracking really well. It's really exciting to see how they're starting to develop their skills, but now they're starting to develop their teamwork skills as well too. So that element of confidence within themselves is really good. And also we've got our Kangaroos teams, and our Kangaroos teams, look, they're developing. Everyone develops.
Yeah.
Everyone develops, and everyone puts in hard work. And I'm not going to say that any one team or any one level does anything more than any others. With the under-13s is a really good mix. This group of under-13s, they have a Kangaroos team and a Wallabies team, and they work together so many times in training sessions, and also they help each other in game days as well too. Just a really good, close-knit environment there. They all like each other. We've got two great coaches there with Sam and Nadal. The team managers, Sebastian and Sean, really set the standard of that community of we're here together. We're not against each other or anything like that. We all wear the Paco jumper, and I really like it with Pascoe Vale too that there's no difference in jumpers or anything like that from the seniors right down to that under 7 player. So it's really good the way that everybody is working together as one big happy club. Yeah, one big family.
Yeah, you mentioned something I want to get to a little bit later about the interaction with the senior players. We spoke to Terence Carter and we spoke to Alex about it as well, how we see, the younger kids get that kick of, being able to sort of train with and, experience a bit of that vibe around the senior players. And for yourself, I guess, is that something as well the committee looks to foster in terms of, allowing sort of that more holistic approach for the whole club? You got the seniors getting involved with the Miniroos, and it's not, say, seniors are up here, Miniroos are down here, and it's everyone all in together, like sort of in that. Yeah,
100%. Like I said, the seniors have already started engaging in our training sessions. We've actually had a couple of senior boys come to game days. It's just simply, the communication with the junior players. Hey, can you come watch my game? And there they are at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning supporting the club. And the boys, it builds their confidence. And they're proud, scoring a goal and you have your senior player watching you on the sideline. But yes, it is something that we are looking into fostering going forward.
And in terms of the role of a committee member, I'm just curious to know a little bit about how it all works. Obviously, there's a few of you guys on the committee, and obviously it's been, as we spoke about, it's been a tough few years for every club, and in terms of, having to work around all the challenges. I guess, take us through what sort of the role entails in terms of being on the committee and what sort of decisions need to be made, etc.
So we're the vital key to parents, the community, coaches, the whole community. We're the primary contact. We collaborate and we collate all the club's visions and goals. Any concerns come through us. We also, it's not all the administrative, I should say, but it's also the social gatherings and the social visions and the fundraisers.
Yeah, no, for sure. John, in terms of your first year at Pascoe Vale, you mentioned you've just come over this year. In terms of what have your first impressions been since coming across?
Oh, look, I think, to be honest, from COVID, being a bit doubtful, making a move, having that trust, you bring your child along, there's a lot of trust, and not knowing anybody, looking from the outside in, but definitely settling in. My boy pretty much met Ray. And it was no questions, I coached my son, and he goes, Dad, I want to go with Ray, and that was it. I had to listen to my boy, and looking from the outside in at the time and coming in slowly. Definitely, good culture. We're bonding. It takes time. You can't bond overnight. Yeah. Just putting your hand up and supporting the club and putting the best foot forward, really, and the club's allowing it. They want people to support the club, in any way. My strengths are football, so that's mine, and I'm not going to work behind the canteen. I spent flipping sausages or making coffees. I probably couldn't make coffee, on the light note. I will turn up and support the canteen and, buy a few things. That's what you've got to do. Definitely on the right track, coming in.
I just want to touch on that a little bit too. The committee works so hard, and the club has team dinners.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great initiative.
Yeah.
To see families sitting in those beautiful club rooms, sitting down together, sharing a meal. I'm so big on sharing meals. Just to sit back, get off the training track, sit together in a beautiful environment there. Lovely TV going on and lovely conversations. We've got an open fireplace. It just, and the food that they serve up is fantastic. Some pastas and everything like that, and culturally aware of our families as well too, and so the kids absolutely love it. Sit down together, have a great table discussion. You can't get that in anybody's house. With 12 kids around a massive table, parents as well too. And, you know, we just make fun. We had a raffle the other day. Anna's been involved with the fundraisers. Anna, how many gifts were there?
It was well over 50.
Wow.
Don't know the exact
Donations from the community.
Community, yeah. Local organisations, the community, whole works. Yeah, it was over 50.
Yeah. Wow.
One of
I
many
think
fundraisers.
was it Mother's Day?
It was Mother's Day, yeah. So our fundraisers, we do seasonal fundraisers, and then there's other sorts of fundraisers such as sausage sizzles and, yeah.
There was one day that we had for Mother's Day about the roses. Do you want to talk about the roses?
Yes. So one of our team managers and committee members had an idea where she organised for, I think it's, we have 180 players, 180 roses were distributed for game day for players to hand out to their caregiver mother on the day. Yeah, for Mother's Day.
Wow.
It was a special touch.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely beautiful.
The photos that came through and the proud kids for their caregiver or their guardian. We invited grandmothers to come along as well. Anyone who's been a positive influence as a female, we asked them to come along to support the boy or girl that was there on the day. And see the mothers or the caregivers in those team photos, you know, and those hugs and everything like that. It's just fantastic how Pascoe Vale are just so supportive of any initiatives that come their way. Yes, it can occur. So that was a special day.
And everyone's embracing it.
Yeah.
You know, you can see it, you know. It's good. Everyone's got smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
Your kids are doing well, you know. You're happy. Yeah, it's a good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our under-10 team, we had the player walk out with the caregiver, with the mother.
Yeah.
And so they were so proud as well. And we had morning tea going there, high tea going. So
and then we had the raffle with the night, the Mother's Day night, celebrating our female community.
Yeah. Well, Ray, I wanted to ask about those team dinners because obviously that's something that usually is obviously post-game and post-training with senior players. Like that is something you don't usually see with juniors. Like that was something that I never had when I was growing up. I don't think many clubs do it. But where was that idea kind of born from? Was that something that, you know, was just a light bulb moment? We thought this would be a great idea for the young kids, you know, something to bring all the families down and everything like that. Like how did that all start?
I think it was before my time at the club, but I think that the Pascoe Vale, it's embedded that it's got a great culture from the top down to the bottom. And I think whatever's good going from the seniors, as you just mentioned, why don't we do it for the juniors? Why don't we do it for the Miniroos? We have girls football team dinners as well too, so everyone's all included. We do the team dinners per age level. We've got like 3 under-8s, 3 under-9s. They all sit together, you know, and there's all harmony amongst everybody. So it's really good as they all come back together. But, yeah, like you said, they are so lucky to have these team dinners. Very cost-effective as well too. You know, it's about once a month. There's just the joy, and you just hear that club room with so much happiness and laughter and so forth, you know, and you know, whoever spills the drink and everything like that. But you know, it's what happens, you know, and that's what kids are kids, and we appreciate that too, you know, and we like them to feel comfortable. And it's a fantastic initiative. We had a raffle one night too, so some
soccer ball giveaways.
So merchandise as well too. So everyone's feeling really part of it.
Absolutely.
And these also become childhood memories. Every, you know, Tuesday, Thursday nights, remember, we're at Paco. Friday night, see, but the seniors support the juniors also support the seniors on match day. It's electric. It's absolutely electric, the atmosphere.
Yeah, because speaking to Terence a couple of weeks ago, he was speaking about how, you know, he never thought, like, you know, the juniors come down looking up to me, like, you know, I'm just a seniors guy, you know, I never thought I'd have a kid come up and sort of say, hey, like, I look up to you, I want to be like Terence Carter, and the joy of seeing, you know, him come to training or a game day and see their role model there. In terms of getting, like you mentioned the vibe on a Friday because of it, I guess, like, Did you expect anything like this? Like when this all came to fruition, thought, maybe we get a few people come down, a few kids maybe come along, but you're seeing this wave of support that sort of reverberates throughout the whole club. I guess, did you guys expect this at all?
Would you like me to answer?
I can. It's all right.
Oh, we both can. You can start and I can
I will
conclude.
say that, Nick, it is bitterly cold.
Yes,
On a Friday night
we know.
at
CB Smith, yeah.
There's that wind channel that just comes through.
Yeah.
We've got our community members that help out in the canteen in
Yeah.
that warm, lovely environment,
I don't
But when you're out there, always cold. But it's electrifying.
Yeah.
The young kids are in that player race and they are high-fiving the under-20s that come off the field. And it's like, wow, they're all screaming and supporting them, you know. And the under-20s are like, wow, I'm not used to this. You
They
know?
enjoy it, but
They
they
enjoy
enjoy
it.
it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the kids are just going,
Yeah.
you know, you just got to sit back and let them have their fun.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just as exciting for them, you know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect so many people to be out there at 8 degrees at night time and in their shorts, in their top, in their jackets and so forth. But they're supporting and they always put up their hand. Can my team or can I help out with walking out the senior player and everything?
Yeah.
Speaking about TC, Terrence Carter, he put on a great training session when the seniors came down, and he was training the under 12 Navy team, and that's a great team, like many others. But his training session was just electrifying. It was just a lot of passion that you know, it's just fast pace at the level of the players. It was just to see them passing the ball quickly, shielding that ball, doing all some really great plays out there. The players came off the field and they said, wow, you know, I learned so much tonight from Terrence, you know, and it came through that, you know, okay, I know that player now, I know who he is about, you know, and if I want to be like that, that's the kind of training that I need to have as part of my weekly routine. So it's really lifted up our spirits. And the senior players also said that, wow, I was so happy to be out there to train these young boys, young girls, because this is what it's all about, you know. I grew and they grew as well.
Exactly, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
We're all growing from each other. And look, I keep saying to Ray, look, focus on the positives, and, you know, and that was a positive day. The feedback coming back from the parents and the kids.
That's right.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And just touching on to, say, the senior level, I think the message is, you know, where the club's trying to create the pathway. We're looking down, we're looking up, we want to be there, and it's creating opportunities. I think Ray keeps saying we're just trying to create opportunities, and, you know, not just winning or developing, but opportunities for the kids to find their way up to that level. From the top down and down up.
Opportunities. We've got a couple of teams, 2 teams, under 9s and under 11s, are going to the Kanga Cup in
Oh,
Canberra.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. They're going on the 3rd to the 8th of July, and these are great opportunities. This is, you know, getting out of that centre bubble of the northern suburbs, getting out, driving up to Canberra, 6 hours drive, getting into the hotel, doing your training sessions, playing against teams from Queensland, New South Wales, ACT, Tasmania, and also there's a Singapore team that's coming.
Wow, yeah.
So this is just, there's only one other team from Melbourne that's coming up to Canberra. So this is a great experience for these players. And this is what maybe Anna was just saying there before about making memories, you know, making lifelong friends, you know, and we need to understand that we can take this Paco badge so far, you know, and it's great. We're the under-10s have just booked a tournament to the Gold Coast in September. So there's a lot of teams this weekend in the bye round that are playing at the Mill Park tournament as well too. So it's gaining these small little opportunities of growth and development, you know, getting out of that league and moving into something more. So I'm really happy that, you know, if it's school holidays, that's fine, but whoever can make it, let's go and play in these tournaments all around. So, yeah, it's really good.
You mentioned the Kanga Cup. Like, you're one of 2 teams in Victoria. Like, is that an invite thing that they get invited to the Kanga Cup, or is it like
No,
you have to apply for it?
Yeah. I'm not too sure why there was only 2 teams. It's a real shame that no more Victorian teams were coming up. It's only Roeville Academy as well as us, and you know they're ambitious like us, I guess, and it's just great to see that we've taken the initiative, and it just shows that you know I had that vision that I told the team managers that there's a tournament coming up there, Kanga Cup, in Canberra, school holidays, have a think about it, and I spoke to them in February. Have a think about it, and I want to see some teams up there if you can. And you know they've gone away, and they've had little meetings with their teams, and they're really happy with that growth that's going to occur.
You mentioned the social events as well, about, you know, sort of fostering great culture. But obviously, you've said about you've brought in a lot of new teams this year. And obviously, you know, when you're a young kid and you're playing football, coming into a football club, it can be very daunting, very intimidating. A lot of new faces, especially if, you know, if you see certain people that already know each other and everything. How important are those social events in terms of, you know, sort of bringing everyone in together? You know, you get the families getting to know each other, you got the kids getting to know each other, fostering those friendships, fostering those relationships, because you mention it, you know, you go to a football club, that's where you create a lot of lifelong memories, a lot of lifelong friendships. I guess how important are those events in terms of, you know, beyond just, say, training and game day? You got those other interactions in maybe an environment where you don't really always have to think about football, but it's more about social sort of atmosphere.
Do you know that one?
Yeah, well, at the moment, the team dinners are the primary social events. Each team I know has organised out of, you know, training session social events, whether it be like a bowling session or movie session. I know that our team might be looking at a social event during the holidays. Bit of a surprise if anybody's watching. We'll communicate that to you soon. I've just ruined the surprise. But very important, because, you know, it's very daunting, especially for first-time players. You're meeting new friends. It builds confidence. You get to know everyone. It's you need to feel comfortable within that environment. And I think, you know, getting to know somebody socially, that's the best way to do it. Yeah,
and correct me if I'm wrong, you said you're a team manager as well. Yeah, so in terms of the role of a team manager in that environment, because, you know, obviously you have more of that hands-on effect besides the coach terms of organising those sort of things. I guess how important is that, you know, as a team manager to organise these kind of things and everything like that as well?
Very important. So team managers are the vital key to parents, you know, and to coaches. Communication is the number one factor of being a team manager and organisation. So organisational skills have to be on point. We organise, you know, game days, social events, uniforms, any registration inquiries. I'm just trying to think.
Fruit on the day.
They're all the fun stuff. Fruit and lollies.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Marshals, referees on, you know, home matches. I'm just trying to think.
Also
what else?
being there for support.
Yeah, being there for support.
You know, kids do get injured, or they do get you know, illnesses and so forth. And it's good just to say, hey guys, if you need anything, you know, we're there to help you. You know, so
you know, we are the primary contact for our own, say, set teams. However, the team managers as a whole for Miniroos, we're one big happy family. We support each other. There is no wrong answer that can be asked. We all, hey guys, just need a hand, need help. Yeah. Everybody's there to support.
So in terms of, Anna, how you got involved with Pascoe Vale as a team manager, but also being on the committee, just take us through that, I guess. What's your relationship been like with Pascoe Vale and how you got involved?
Yep, so second year, my son is in under 8s. I came in just pre-COVID, during COVID, so it's a bit, it was a little bit, how can I say, interrupted throughout the first season. However, that didn't stop me from introducing myself, familiarising myself to, you know, who are you and who's the coach and who's the TM, and I just brought on board many ideas, whether it be sponsorship, whether it be fundraising, and just from there, I think my ideas were great and jumped on board. But like Ray said, committee member, TM, volunteer, parent volunteer. they all go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And John, I guess your relationship, with football as well. You spoke of first year now, Pascoe Vale, but take us through, your journey with football and everything like that.
Geez, I started when I was probably 8.
Yeah.
At, Sunshine Heights. I was lucky enough to live across the road, so I had a soccer pitch 24/7. Just learning to love the game. Back then with your mates, played juniors, gone through amateur level, senior level, probably finished at 31, 32. Had a little stint as coaching in between, and probably had a bit of a kick in the Masters. You never stop dreaming.
Yeah.
Got back into coaching, assisting. I've coached 8s, 9s. I think done a 16-year-old stint a couple of years back. You're just always involved in the game somewhere. You know? So I've been drawn back in with my own kid now. So that's my love of the game, passion.
Yeah.
It goes back to where I was a kid too. So, and just supporting. If you can support the next generation, I think it's great.
Absolutely. And Ray,
can I talk about something else?
Yeah, go for it.
You were talking about social before. This is a little bit different than social, but this year I've worked on having intra-club matches.
Yes.
On a Thursday night. Not every Thursday, it's about once a month at the moment. We've had 3 rounds already, and this is where let's just make an example of an under-8 team versus an under-9 team, or we play with the levels like a Joeys versus a lower level, say under 7s or something like that, or we have a Wallabies versus a Kangaroos team. And these games are coaching sessions. They are not matches. They will just let the players go out there with a referee. It's about stopping, learning, developing, gaining great habits of the game as well too. Last Thursday we played. It was fantastic. We've got some great photos of teams together, coaches having some great conversations with the other team as well too, some encouragement as well. Parents love it, the players love it, and what we're trying to build here is, they are playing against each other, but they shake hands with each other after the game, starting to know other players' names from the club. What's important is that we understand that, Pascoe Vale is made up from many different teams, but we need that connection between each of the teams as much as possible. So it's been really good, these intra-club matches.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it fosters some very friendly competition as well, because the kids that are, the age group below or the level below, they'd really like that opportunity to go up against the teams that are above them and really impress. And, there's just, you naturally get competitive by it.
Get competitive, and also camaraderie, that togetherness, and that younger player trying to showcase their skills against the older player, and we had a great competition.
A challenge. Yeah. You can see them, some of the kids, they go to another level, It's the exposure.
That's right.
Yes.
We've got the 12s versus under 13s, some games. We've got 11s versus 12s, some games. And it's great to see that these teams, and the games are very close, so they're really well matched up and evenly. So it's a great initiative, and the kids just love it, and it only builds a stronger community where they will see each other away from the goals, away from the ground, and they'll be like, hey, I played against you, or you're in that team, or that's your coach, and everything like that. So there is lots to gain when you build a strong community.
Absolutely. And Ray, obviously you oversee all the coaches, and obviously there's a lot of young coaches as well that come into it, because people want to start as a coach to obviously start with the junior teams. I guess when you're developing coaches and everything like that, they come to you for advice and everything. What are some of your, things that you like to put in place being a technical director and sort of overseeing the whole program?
Yeah, good question. We've actually had some courses, some Football Victoria coaching courses to be actually held at Pascoe Vale this year. We've had 2 already. We've had a coaching workshop just on Monday night as well too. We've got 27 coaches.
Wow.
With 17 teams, and that is great to manage. And on Monday, we were able to have a lot of interaction between the coaches, and I think it was a great workshop. John was there that night, and the club put on a lovely team, well, a coach's dinner, I should say, and everyone just felt welcome, warm, friendly. I had some activities there, some icebreakers and some quizzes and everything like that too. It's not. But it's the support that we give as well too. You know, we've got some coaching resources that we supply to our coaches, and also with that coach and assistant coach team is really important that it fosters that new growth to come through. And we've seen some really new coaches help out an existing coach, and just having that mentorship between them has really helped. You know, and you know, if they need anything, I'm there to support them as 100% straight away.
The opportunity's there to reach out, meet new people, sharing. That's
sharing
knowledge, giving people the confidence to put your hand up and ask the question. We're all challenging ourselves.
Yeah.
And the reason is, how do we get better? What can we do to get better for the kids? Now, this training session's not working, where the groundwork's been laid out and we're trying to build. I can see that there's a lot of building in the background. Coaches know now we're trying to build a manual, a Paco manual or something to follow. So, it's a template for them to work off. And the feedback, you can see the new coaches coming on board or the guys who have been around, it's positive, I think they're taken on board. So definitely positive signs, The workshops are great, the meals, the camaraderie.
That's right.
In terms of, like, you mentioned a bit of a manual, is there certain, if you can give us without giving away all the secrets, what sort of some of, I guess, the groundwork of that in terms of, are there certain things that you, like do's and don'ts and things like that you look to do?
Yes, we discussed that the other night, just about the do's and don'ts. Let's just say the do's are let the kids, let the players figure out some problems for themselves. Don't give them the answers. Just stand back. And then if something didn't work out, just ask them, what could you do differently? What could you do differently? Just have a think about it and let's try it next time when you're in that position again. And that could be any area of the field, you know what I mean? So I'm really trying to encourage the coaches to have that positive development mindset. Some clubs have a win at all costs mindset, and that's really disturbing at junior football level. So I think our coaches do realise the vision of the club, and they do realise that, we're there to develop happy, fun, enjoyable players that are enjoying coming to the club, that are making sure that they're learning each and every time. They've got supportive coaches that foster their development. We are inclusive as well too, and providing different opportunities for our players all around the park as well too. So gaining that awareness, that growth. Now each team is at different levels, how many years of experience their players have played. But when you can start to arrange players into different positions and give them the information, give them that education of what's that role and responsibility that you need to take out there, I think that just builds better future for these players as well too. So it's consistent. I think my coaches have got a consistent approach out there, and there's always work to be done, but I think that the vision is being followed really well.
You mentioned the win at all costs mentality, which unfortunately, obviously, for some, they can't get out of that sort of mindset, when it comes to coaching. But how do you look to separate that with some coaches? Because obviously with Miniroos, it's not about winning per se. It's obviously a lot about development, having fun with your friends, getting out on the park every single week. How do you separate that? Do you have certain tips, in terms of how you look to try and, just break that mindset away from, I guess, that win at all costs sort of situation?
My tips are all about encouragement. My tips are to have your training sessions, to give opportunities for growth and development in your training sessions. That way the players will gain their confidence when they're out on the field. I tell the coaches, don't experiment too much on game day. Experiment in your training sessions. Develop those confidence techniques and abilities for these players, so that way they will grow when they go out there on Sundays, you know, on match day. So that's my tip there in terms of we don't want players to be not confident and not knowing where to run. We're working towards a little bit of a folder in itself in terms of where players should go in certain positions. So that way there's a bit of a flick kind of manual on the sidelines just to help out our players, just to reiterate, okay, what does a defender do? Okay, this is my area of the field of where I need to go. What does like a striker do or anything like that? Or what are some rules that I need to worry about if I'm a goalkeeper? So we're just going to have a little bit of a manual on the side, and I'm hoping that I can work on this pretty soon, so that way our players are supported, our coaches are supported, and the players know what's required of them in this growth. So that's my vision at the moment.
Yeah, I guess this is a question for all you guys, but obviously because you've all coached, team managed, everything like that, and at a young age, what comes with the kids as well, you know, you get the situation with parents as well, and obviously when, you know, I've spoke to Tommy last week who has a young team, and he said obviously, you know, it's hard to tell some parents, obviously unfortunately your son or daughter's not going to be able to play every week, you know, small-sided games, big squad, and the situation with that. I guess when it comes to some parents, and obviously dealing with parents as well, I guess, how do you guys go with that? Because obviously that can be an intimidating experience, even as well for younger coaches, and you obviously oversee most of that. But how do you guys look to deal with those situations?
Was that Tommy from our club?
Tommy.
I understand. Tommy had a different situation there last year, and Anna, you were part of that squad, I think they had like 15 players for a squad that could only have 10 on match day or something like that. But we don't have that anymore. We've grown 3 teams in the under 8s and 3 teams in the under 9s as well too. So all our teams have pretty much a maximum of 4 on the bench. So we've grown so much more that we've grown. We're going sideways anyway.
Yes.
Under, you know, we've got your kangaroos, your wallabies, and your Joeys.
Yes.
And that way, all our players get some really good opportunities on game day. Though unfortunately, the growth that happened last year and the inconsistencies of whether players are available or not through illnesses or anything, or borders or anything like that happened last year, we've been able to embrace a new structure, and it's more even now that we've got, maximum of 4 on the bench, which is really good.
If you want me to summarise how I would go ahead in a hypothetical situation as a team manager, delivery of that information is quite important. So I could take the easy way and send an SMS. That's not the way we roll. We are very big on communication, so I would allocate a time over, a coffee at the clubhouse and sit down and explain, you know, why we believe we're heading in this direction or that direction, and leave it as an open forum for parents to express their concerns as well. And in a hypothetical, that's how I would, as a team manager, deliver that information.
Absolutely. And John as well, I mean, when you've coached as well, and obviously we've, you know, seen those situations, how would you look to deal with it, I guess, when in your position when you were coaching?
Look, most parents have been great the years I've been coaching. Look, you do have incidents, and I think there is a heat of the moment after the game sometimes. But look, I used to have more training attendance. I have game times, you know, and you try to even it out. If you know you haven't given a fair game time one week, you know, and you try to meet your minimum target, you do try to make it up. And look, some clubs may offer 18 games. If we're out there trying to source another 10 games, in my view, I've made up more than enough time. But you try to give a little bit more, you know, put an extra training session on. Can you make it up somewhere else, you know? Hopefully the parents see that the hard work that's going.
Yeah.
And you're going above and beyond, you know, in the younger ages, you know. I think the parents are still learning or adapting. They're new to the game. They're new to the culture, you know. And it's just about having a chat to them and informing them how your approach is. Look, things do happen on the sidelines. We all know that. Yeah. But most times parents, you know, they're understanding, you know.
Yeah.
Fair.
We have a great community.
Absolutely. I mean, as we're starting to run out of time here, but Ray, I guess your vision going forward, looking at next year, because obviously we are coming towards the end of this season, but going forward, we saw a big expansion this year in the Miniroos program. I guess what's the next steps from here that you're looking to implement going forward?
We were talking about that the other day. We're looking at introducing a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon training session. We feel that a lot of families are investing into these academies and so forth just to get that extra training session. And I feel that us as coaches, us as a club, we can offer the training sessions for our players to develop even further. Clubs that are out there do offer 3 days a week training sessions, and we're at the stage where we're only offering 2. And it's something that we might need to look at for next year. And any plan like this requires lots of communication and forward planning, because our families have got so many commitments that are outside the soccer world that we need to give these opportunities for our families to understand that, hey, you know what, if Pasco Vale want to invest in my son's future or my daughter's future, I need to also support that as well too.
Yeah.
So we're looking at trying to implement a Saturday afternoon program at the moment for term 3, and we'll see how we go. We're looking at the middle of July to start this, and that will take us through till September. So 10 weeks, you know, just come on a Saturday. We're looking at an opt-in. We're not looking at this to be compulsory at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whoever can make it at 2:00 in the afternoon, we're looking to build on this program, and this program has got to be run that these players move as like a circuit around, and they work with other coaches.
Yeah.
Not just their coach. You know, it's not a training session, it's a development session, you know, a skill development session. So a lot of coaches are supportive of it. We're just going to work on a roster, going to work on some communication as well too. And we'll see how we go with that, just to help out a lot more development. Vision and going forward, I think we've got our club going really well. The junior development, we've got Oxidate program with strength and conditioning, and also a football model over there too, a football training model. That's really good. Our Miniroos are involved in that once per month, and that's going really good. The feedback that I've got from that is the children really enjoy it. It's an indoor facility with a soccer ground at the back.
Yes.
Now, on a night like tonight, or the waterlogged pitches and everything like that, it was heaven for our boys that were trained there last night, the under-11s, and they learned so much. And it's all about fostering that knowledge of, if my goal is to play NPL, if my goal is just to be a better player than what I am today, I need to invest in myself, and I need to be part of something more than the training field. So we're going to look at continuing our partnership with Oxidate for next year as well too. That's going really well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and just one last one before we go. I mean, next season, new coaches wanting to come in, you know, opportunities for young players as well to come in. I guess, how do young kids that might be looking to, they're probably at that stage now, they're thinking ahead to next year, they're looking ahead, do I want to be at the club I'm currently at? Do I want to get involved in coaching for some older people? Like, how do they get involved?
Well, firstly, I really enjoy the coaches that we've got at the moment.
Yeah. And
I've spoken to them, and I said to them, I really want you to stay on for next year. I think it's an element of confidence for them that they don't need to look elsewhere. You know,
sure.
If they're happy, they stay. But we are going to grow. We are going to have more teams. And I'm hoping we're at 17 teams at the moment and 5 girls teams. I think we're going to top up to 23 next year, and I'll need some more coaches. We're looking at some great facilities that are going to be rolled out for Hoskin reserve.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's going to really put us on the map of one of the major facilities in the community of the northern suburbs, and I think it will be an attractive place to be. I guess the information will be on the website?
Yep, on the website, but in saying that, we've had many walk-ins. They've just come into the clubhouse, grabbed a coffee. Is there anyone I can speak to? And I'm usually there, or any other committee members. Just see us with our logo tops and you know who to talk to. So, I mean, the majority of information, you can go by the website. Come see us. Come grab a coffee, come check out the grounds.
That's right.
Yeah. Come join.
Well, before we go, anything else you guys want to plug? Anything you guys want to touch on before we wrap up?
Nothing from me.
Nothing else? No?
All good, yeah.
Yep.
All good. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Go Paco. Go Paco.
Yeah, well, thank you again for you all coming on and I guess just giving a bit of an insight into how things work at Pascoe Vale. Obviously, as we've said, we've spoken a lot to the older guys and how things work from a senior level, but it's always intriguing to find out how things work, I guess, from the bottom all the way up. So again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank
Thanks for your
you.
time. Real pleasure.
Well, if you missed any of it at home, head over to our podcast platforms. It'll be up a little bit later in the show. We're back again, hopefully next Tuesday as well. Stay tuned to our socials to find out or who's going to be our special guests next week. But for myself, Nick Tabano, it's goodbye for now. You're listening to Paco Radio, brought to you by Senol on FNR, Football Nation Radio. Listening to Paco Radio, brought to you by Senol on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Tonight. Now, Ray.
That's all me. Welcome to
Ante,